He is the man called Sting. I'm Todd Tanner. What's happening, everybody? This is Wrestling News Now. Profiling tonight, the one and only, the man called Sting. A most interesting individual. It's time to profile this great man and human being. So, before I get started on tonight, if you happen to be passing by and you see this channel, if you like the content of it, would you kindly hit the like button? And would you also subscribe? And if you think others would like it, just share an episode with them. Now let's get down to it. Steve Borden, better known by the ring name Sting, is an American professional wrestler and former bodybuilder. Currently signed to All Elite Wrestling as the mentor of Darby Allin. He is regarded as one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, having cultivated a legacy over a career spanning 5 decades. Wow, what a career. Well, who is Sting and where did Sting come from and how did Sting get started? Steve Borden was born on the 20th of March of 1959. Better known by the ring name, Sting is an American professional wrestler and former bodybuilder, currently signed to All Elite Wrestling as the mentor of Darby Allin. He is regarded as one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, having cultivated a legacy over a career spanning 5 decades. Throughout his career, he won a total of 15 world championships. Kudos, Sting, kudos to you. Sting is widely known for his time spent as the public face of 2 major American professional wrestling promotions, the now defunct World Championship Wrestling, WCW, which was bought by the World Wrestling Federation, World Wrestling Entertainment, now WWE, in 2001, and Total Non-Stop Action Wrestling, TNA, now called Impact Wrestling. Although the WWF had purchased WCW, Sting did not sign with them at that time. Prior to WCW, he also wrestled for the National Wrestling Alliance, or the NWA, the Universal Wrestling Federation, or the UWF, and Mid-South. Sting's 14-year association with WCW and its predecessor, Jim Crockett Promotions, began in 1987. He quickly rose to main event status and has been described as the WCW counterpart to the WWF's Hulk Hogan, dubbed the franchise of WCW. He held a total of 14 championships in the promotion, including the WCW World Heavyweight Championship on 6 occasions, the WCW International World Heavyweight Championship on 2 occasions, and the NWA World Heavyweight Championship on 1 occasion, and made more pay-per-view appearances for the company than any other wrestler. Against Hogan, Sting headlined the highest grossing pay-per-view event in WCW history, Starrcade. In December 1997, upon the acquisition of WCW by the WWF, in March 2001, Sting and his long-term rival Ric Flair were chosen to perform in the main event of the final episode of Nitro. Sting would later face Hogan and Flair in their last televised matches, defeating both. Following the expiration of his contract with WCW's parent company, AOL Time Warner, in March 2002, Borden had talks with the WWF, but ultimately did not join the promotion and instead toured internationally with World Wrestling All-Stars, the WWA, winning the WWA World Heavyweight Championship before joining the then upstart TNA in 2003. Over the following 11 years, he won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship on 1 further occasion and the TNA World Heavyweight Championship 4 times. As a result, he became the only wrestler to have won the NWA, WCW, and TNA World titles in a career. He was also the inaugural inductee into the TNA Hall of Fame in 2012. Previously described by WWE as the greatest wrestler never to have performed for that promotion, Sting finally joined in 2014, making his first appearance at Survivor Series and having his debut match at WrestleMania 31st the following year. His last match in WWE came at Night of Champions in 2015, which also marked his sole WWE pay-per-view main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the organization, losing to Seth Rollins. Sting headlined the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2016 on April 2, where he announced his retirement. His induction rendered him the second performer to be inducted while still an active WWE wrestler after Ric Flair. In late 2020, Sting signed with AEW, coming out of retirement and had his first match in over 5 years at the Promotions Revolution pay-per-view on March 7th of 2021. A tag team cinematic street fight that he and Darby Allin won. Sting then had his first live wrestling match in over 5 years at Double or Nothing on May 30th, 2021. Another tag team match that he and Allin won. Sting held 26 total championships throughout his career, including 21 between WCW and TNA. Readers of Pro Wrestling Illustrated named him Most Popular Wrestler of the Year on 4 occasions. A second he shares with John Cena in 2016. Sting was inducted into the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame. Slam Sports wrote that he holds a lofty level of prestige that few will ever touch. In the next episode of Wrestling News Now, I'll talk about the early life of Sting, his professional wrestling career, his legacy and influence in other media things, along with his personal life, championships, and accomplishments. For Wrestling News Now, I'm Todd Tanner.